Hey guys, it's the Birdman. Today is July 31st, and can't talk. It's been an interesting morning. There's 9 pigeons sitting up on the house, and the rest are in the loft, and they're plenty hungry and they want to trap in, but they're too scared to, and I'll explain why in just a moment. Anyways, better start out with, they've been doing a lot better. I didn't film them yesterday, but I did fly them. But I did film the day before that and gave you all the update. They're getting better, trapping in a lot better. They had been flying for about 10 minutes before they'd get real tired. I'd call them down, and I had to go to town early this morning. And when I got back around 8 and went and let them out of the loft because I will not be able to fly them in the evening again until Friday. Or I don't think I will. We'll see. I don't think I'll be back in time. But, so I went ahead and let them out, and I just went inside to eat breakfast. And I actually wound up not coming back out till around 9 o'clock, so they had about an hour of unsupervised time, and I don't know how much they flew around. Of course, the first thing they did when they got out was fly around, but I don't know how long they did before they came down. Anyways, I came out around 9 o'clock and put them up in the air and flew them for 10 minutes, was going to put them away, but they seem to be doing pretty well, so I decided to let them keep on flying. Long story short, I got 20 minutes out of them before I called them down, which I thought was nice. Jumped from about 10 minutes to 20, so that was good. But, and they came down beautifully. I tossed a dropper up on the loft because they were kind of high up, and they came down a lot lower. I tossed a second dropper on the loft, and then they just came down in waves. They came across once, about a third of them landed, came back around, second time, another, half of that, so another third landed, and then came around one more time, and the last group landed, and that all took about, 30 seconds or less, probably less. It was great, but unfortunately, right as the last bird was landing on the loft, a Cooper's hawk came down out of nowhere. I actually didn't see where it came from, but it was probably in this line of trees right here, and hit them, which is smart because he was waiting, and you have to give the hawks a little credit because that was fairly smart, because he instead of attacking them while they were in the air, he sat in a tree and waited for me to call him down. And whether it already knew to do this or not, it will learn if it stays around. So I don't know if it is going to learn to do it or already knows how to do it. But it waited until I whistled to call him down. And at that point, they had been flying for the longest that they were going to fly. So they were the most tired then. Waited for them to land on the loft. And he attacked while the last couple pigeons were landing. So, there's pigeons, flying up in the air, just above the loft, so that's, when you got this above you, that's kind of distracting. And so they didn't see the hawk coming. And he grabbed one off the loft, and they fell down right in between the building and the lawnmower there and struggled for a minute. And thankfully the pigeon got loose and hid under the lawnmower, and the hawk flew away. But, and I've got the pigeon out front of the lawnmower, and it seems no worse for the wear. Mostly just, scared. It was shaking with fear. But put it back in the loft. Thankfully he has not been eaten, so, that's good. But, and the hawk has not come back, and I kind of doubt that it will this morning. But, still got 9 birds out here. Only one pigeon had gone into the loft when the hawk attacked. They had only just landed and one had gone in. So he has no idea what happened, but all the rest flew around for 5 or 10 more minutes, and I got about half of them in, and then a few more have come down and gone in over the past 10 or 20 minutes. So those guys there flew around for 30, 40 minutes, maybe longer than that. Now they're on the roof of the house. If they would just fly over here, I'm confident they'll trap in pretty quickly, but they're just scared, might not be the right word at the moment, but they're pretty nervous about flying back over here. So hopefully they'll come down soon. I'm all out of droppers now. I had a third dropper left, so I was able to use that to get about half of them to come down and go in the loft. That's why I was able to do that so quickly. So I had a third dropper left, which would have been Charles. But after I used him, I was out of droppers. So thankfully it didn't grab any of my droppers, because if it had decided it wanted to eat a satinette, it would have. But and I've only got the 2. But no worse for the wear this time, but I really hope it doesn't get worse. I'll keep y'all posted, let y'all know when they go in. Hey guys, today is August 1st. Yesterday was July 31st. I did do an update yesterday, kind of, but never did completely finish it and upload it. So I'm just going to kind of add this on to it. It took something like 3 hours before the last bird trapped in, which would have been that black one right there with the white on its head. But all the birds trapped in. None ever actually flew out of sight or anything. I was particularly worried that it would eat the hawk was going to catch one of my droppers, because these little satinets, they're not strong, they don't like to fly, and they're pretty brightly colored, so if it decided it wanted one, it would have eaten it. And the pigeon that got attacked, I pointed out to you yesterday. Now I'm not 100% sure which one it was. I never looked at its band or anything. I think it might be this one right here. No it's not, because it had a green band on. Anyways, it was one of my blue bars. It was okay. Just shaking up while I'm looking at it. These satinets, see, the cock is just cooing and flirting with her. I'm pretty sure that this egg in here is dead. I don't think they've been turning it, and no, I can jiggle it a little bit and feel that it's real loose in there. I can hear stuff shaking around. I don't think it's, by the way, shaking eggs is really not good for them. I don't think it's alive. I'll candle it tonight just to make sure. I'm not going to throw it out without candling it, but I don't think it's alive. Because I think I'm going to have to take their eggs and put them underneath another pair of birds. Because they're just not going to raise them. But anyways, so today I have not flown them. Won't be flying them. I'm just giving them the day off today. For a couple reasons. I'll explain why. Obviously, with the hawk attacking yesterday, and since it attacked right as I was whistling and calling them down, you know, I don't know if it had been watching for a couple of days and already figured out that when I whistled they landed and had figured all that out, or if it was just by chance this time. But whether or not it was by chance, if he sees them, if he hears me whistling and watches them land a couple of times, he'll get the idea pretty quick. So, you know, I'm just trying to kind of take a break from routine and not have them out today, so that if the hawk does come back, and it probably will, the pigeons are not out and does not have another opportunity to catch one. It missed yet. Well, it got one yesterday, but the pigeon got free, and I almost grabbed it. I was standing pretty close when it happened. I almost grabbed it, which probably would have been a painful experience, but I would have taken care of the hawk. But so I scared it off yesterday. So hopefully, if it comes back today, you know, pigeons won't be out. You know, hopefully it'll get discouraged, but I don't know. We'll see how things go. But that's the, you know, one of the more obvious reasons I'm giving them a break today. But also, they worked really hard yesterday. So, you know, some of them flew for 30, 40 minutes. They all flew for at least 20 when I flew them. And they also probably flew for 10 or 15 minutes before that when I let them out the first time. And then some of them kept on flying for 30, 40 more minutes. The last few to trap in, I mean, it was like 3 hours after the attack that I finally got them in the loft, and they would just fly and fly and fly, and then they would land on the house or something, sit on the house for 5 more minutes, take a breather, and then start flying again. So they worked pretty hard yesterday. They deserve a break. And then also, just talking about the way training and the way muscle training works in general. When we build muscle, our muscles do not get stronger and denser while we're working out, while we're working our muscles. The muscles actually grow afterwards while we're not using them. What happens when you're working out, and in this case for the birds while they're flying, is as they're using their muscles more and more, the muscles can't take the strain and the muscles start to tear. The muscle fibers start to tear. And then while the birds are resting, or if, you know, while we're working out, you know, our muscle fibers tear. And then while we're resting, while we take a day off, the muscles grow back, the fibers grow back denser, which is how we get stronger. So if you're constantly making the birds fly hard, you know, flying them hard every single day, all you're going to do is wear them out. You got to give them breaks. That's why, if you, and some of you may already know this, some of you may not, but for people, when we're going to work out, that's why we usually, people that are serious about working out have a schedule set. You know, a lot of y'all probably be familiar with the term, you know, leg day, you know, whatever. What you focus on working out a particular muscle or group of muscles on one day, and then you do a different group of muscles the next day, so that group of muscles is resting and therefore growing. So you got to give them a break. You got to let them rest. They worked real hard yesterday. They're getting today off. I probably won't fly them very hard tomorrow, which will be, today's Tuesday, so that'll be Wednesday. Wednesday I'll probably not fly them very hard, but Thursday I'll probably work them pretty hard again and see if I can't get a half hour out of them. I know they're capable of it because most of them did it yesterday, but see if I can't get a half hour out of them. Probably work them hard again the next day and then maybe give them another day off. You got to give them breaks though. You can't fly them hard all the time, especially in this heat. Especially in the heat. But they're fine. I gave them a bath. I just dumped it over because the water, there wasn't a lot of water left and it was pretty dirty. Don't want them drinking it. Also, I've noticed some green poop, and after being recommended, yeah, see there's some right there, being recommended to do this by Rick, I've started them on the coccidiostat again. He's actually getting some medications together for me that he wants me to treat them with. And part of the green poop could just be stressed out from being attacked by the hawk yesterday. And in fact, I'm sure that's probably part of it. But don't want to take a chance on them being sick. So I fed them this morning. I fed them a decent amount this morning. They finished it all up. I'll probably feed them a little bit more here in a little bit, but I'm not going to feed them later tonight because I'm going to be flying them in the morning. So the more distance I can put between them eating today and when I fly them tomorrow, the better. And hopefully that hawk does not show up. It may not. I really don't know. So, and some of you might be wondering, well, you know, what can you do to get rid of the hawks? Well, the solution's pretty simple. You can either shoot them or trap them and get rid of them after trapping them. Those are pretty much your two options. Unfortunately, it's illegal. So if you decide to proceed with either one of those, you risk going to jail and major fines if you're caught. So that would, you know, so that's the problem there. Why are they protected? I don't know. I mean, of course it makes sense that you can't go out and just shoot them whenever you want for fun. That would of course be bad, but why can you go to jail or pay serious fines for shooting a hawk that's trying to eat your pigeons? I don't know. I don't think you should. I understand that they used to be endangered or threatened. Cooper's hawks, I'm not sure if Cooper's hawks were actually ever endangered. They were probably just threatened, but with the DDT and everything, but they're not anymore. Their populations have exploded. They're everywhere, and people around here who have pigeons, y'all, you know, pretty much know that they're everywhere. And no matter what you do or don't do, you know, they're always there. And even if you do, you know, kill a hawk and get rid of it, it's just going to be replaced by another one. It's just a matter of time. So, you know, there's not really a lot you can do. You can basically kill them or trap and relocate them very far away. And doing either one of those things is illegal. At least here in North Carolina it is. I'm pretty sure, you know, all 50 states it is, so I don't know. Besides being raptors, they're also covered by the Migratory Species Act, so same thing that prevents you from shooting songbirds or mourning doves out of season or anything like that, you know, blue jays, cardinals, whatever. So, I don't know. I don't think it should be a problem to be able to kill a hawk when it's, you know, going after livestock, but it is illegal, so, you know, those are your options, but you risk imprisonment and fines in doing so. But we'll talk about happier things now. We'll walk down to the woods where I've got the breeders, and I'll show you some babies. Alright, so I'm in here with the breeders. These two are just major slackers, and they've not been breeding or doing anything towards trying to breed. However, these two I've got 2 more eggs now. There's one. There's the second one. And then, that'd be the ash red, or not ash red, recessive red tiger grizzle. And I'm pretty sure he's a recessive red too, but he's bald-headed. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I know he has ash red in him. I think this one may be an ash red T-check. And his brother is definitely recessive red. And his dad is recessive red, but I think this one might just be an ash red T-check. Because you can see the gray right there. He doesn't want to cooperate with me, but she's definitely recessive red. Anyways, but Spot, my older indigo Andalusian cock, paired to this blue check hen. They're both rollers, of course. They've got 2 babies. I can actually hear them squeaking. Let's see. So here's one. That's a little baby pigeon. Not exactly cute, but they get prettier as they get older. This one's 2 or 3 days old. I don't remember. Now it's pooping on my hand. Anyways, again, always use my hand as a shield, protect the baby as I put it back. Wouldn't want him to accidentally bite the baby, confusing it with my hand. But, and then the other one, I think that one was 2 days old. The other one's 3 days old. It's a little bigger. It's in there too. But I'm not going to pull it out. No need to. But here's April. April's my younger indigo spread Andalusian cock, and he's the son of that one. That's his dad right there. So, and he's mated to this ash red, grizzle ash red hen. But so far they've only got 1 living baby, and they're not looking like they're in a big hurry to lay more eggs, unfortunately. The baby from this guy right here and his mate, unfortunately it died. I was not expecting it to. It was actually doing better, honestly, but unfortunately it did not make it. Why? I'm not sure exactly, but and I'm pretty sure its parents were still feeding it despite me moving all 3 of them over here, which was one of my concerns in doing so, but it wasn't doing very well in the nest box in the red loft anyways, so, it was already not going well, so, I figured, might as well move it over and see if it helps, and it seemed to be doing better, but now it's not, so I don't know why that is. And then over here, not much to report. They're just all kind of hanging out, eating, loving when I bring them food and water. Hey Steve. I can mess with Steve, but you'll probably flip out if I try to touch you. What you gonna do now? Those white homers still staying right together, but I'm pretty sure that it's not a pair. I'm pretty sure that one's a cock and one's a hen. This is the one that I thought was a hen, but I'm pretty sure it's a cock. I don't know. And then of course that's not a homer, that's a white king. Oh, also, that reminds me, so recently, someone whose username I can't completely remember, but kind of can, commented asking about some different stuff on one of my videos, but one of the things he mentioned was that he got his pigeons, well, 2 things he mentioned specifically, were that his pigeons were not wanting to fly around very much, and also that they were off of Craigslist, or at least the breeding parents were off of Craigslist. So there's a couple of things I thought I might ought to mention about, and not specifically to him, but just for anyone who's thinking about getting pigeons and maybe is on Craigslist and says, oh, hey, this guy's selling, white homing pigeons for $10 a piece, $40, I can have 2 pairs of breeders, or, whatever. Well, I hate to break it to you, but there's a reason that pigeons being sold on Craigslist are usually so cheap. if they're colored pigeons like this, they could be barn pigeons, you know, wild pigeons that someone got out of their barn, either trapped them or took them out of the nest as babies or whatever. And of course you don't really want to buy those. With white homers, they may actually be white homers, or another possibility is that they're white kings, like Elvis here. Elvis looks a little different than these guys right now because he's still got some of his feathers from when I dyed him for Easter. Of course, most of it started to fade pretty quickly, but and he's molted a lot of it out now. But you can still see a little hint of pink there. If I fan out his wing here, you can still see some pink. But anyways, otherwise, he looks very similar. He's a little larger, but not much. And white kings do not fly very well. So I'm gonna try and help them, but some of these breeders they don't really like me very much. You know, Steve's okay, but and the white homers are okay with me touching them, but these breeders, they really don't like me. These older breeders. Come here, just stay there. Whatever. Anyways, so that's something I would caution you against buying birds on Craigslist. If the price seems too good to be true, usually it is. So, and that's especially true of pigeons being sold on the internet. Now, if it's a site specifically for selling pigeons, then I don't know. I don't really have much experience with that, but I would say that that sounds like a better situation. But you just got to be careful buying pigeons. Also, you're really not supposed to sell animals on Craigslist anyways. But anyways, so don't think there's much more I wanted to say than that, but show y'all how things are going. They're going better, but hopefully that hawk does not show back up. If it does, you know, there's really just not much you can do unless you're willing to, you know, risk it. But of course, not going to recommend that to y'all. But it's just a tough situation. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. I will be doing a better job of keeping the camera with me now when I fly, because on the one hand, as much as I hate hawk attacks, I know y'all are going to want to see them, and it is kind of cool watching a hawk hunt pigeons, especially in the air. But this guy wasn't hunting them in the air. He was waiting in the tree and he ambushed them, which is what Cooper's hawks do the most often. They've got a better chance of catching them this way, and indeed it did catch one. The pigeon just got away. Than they do actually hunting them already in the air. So, but thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. Take care.